Welcome to All About ABA. I'm a BCBA.
And I'm a BCABA.
And today we're going to be talking a little bit about COVID. Now I know we've done a previous video on this, so we're going to share some of our opinions today on the topic.
So before we get into it, please subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure to give us a big thumbs up at the end of this video and turn your post notifications on to make sure you get notified when we post.
As you see before you today, we have some fruits and popcorn. So we're filming a little update with COVID. So we're really interested to know kind of like what your clinics or in-home companies are doing right now at the moment when it comes to COVID. So please tell us, like, share these things with us after this video and let us know, like, hey, this is what we're doing. We're just going to kind of share some of the things that our companies are doing.
And the changes that we've gone through, like, in the field and everything since this all started, since we made our last video.
Yes.
Because we made that, like, right before lockdown even happened. So the coronavirus was just, like, a brand new thing, and we didn't really know what was going to happen. At all.
And I don't think anybody could really anticipate, like, how serious it would get and how much it would affect our field, especially given that we're providing direct services. So I know in that video we did say, like, oh, you know, ABA should not continue. But again, this was given the information we knew at the time. We also didn't know that it would extend for so long.
Yeah, and we really meant in the context of, like, at this moment, like, at this very moment when, like, there's, like, this huge outbreak, like, services should stop because all these other businesses were closing. And, like, you know, a lot of ABA practitioners were really struggling with that and, like, weren't sure what to do. And that was really our stance at the time. But obviously things have changed a lot in that since March. So
yeah, and a girl's gotta eat. Number one thing that I've found very useful is having parents sign liability waivers. I know this is like something that can be a little contradictory because some people feel like it's wrong to have parents sign these liability waivers, but at the same time, like, COVID is not in the hands of, like, any practitioner or any clinic. Like, we don't know who's going to catch it. Of course, you should be careful, and we'll talk about some of the other things, like, that we're doing to make sure that we are careful when we're providing these direct services or around, like, at-risk populations. But my number one tip is liability waivers, explaining to parents that not only are we not liable if something does happen, but also that they have the right and they should feel comfortable with canceling a session when they see signs and symptoms in the therapist or even in their own child or themselves or anyone who lives in the home. So sneezing, coughing, fever. So I feel like during a time like this, a lot of companies that have cancellation policies should be a little more lenient.
Oh yeah.
Just because there might be a lot of cancellations because we don't know if it's allergies or a cold or the flu or COVID. So to be safe, we should just rule that out. If there's any symptoms, please cancel session just to keep everyone safe. So that's what's included in the waivers that I've seen so far from the companies I work for. And parents have been really understanding. Like, I haven't had any parents that have said, like, no, not cool. Like, they're completely understanding. And I've had parents that their kids have been sick and they cancel session respectfully. So.
And I think that kind of leads into another thing that I found really important too, is just making sure that the parents and the clients are comfortable with services, like making sure that they even want to continue, or if they, you know, are used to having in-home services, if they're still comfortable letting someone else in the home, or if they just want to have, like, one therapist at a time. Maybe you put supervision on hold or you do supervision remotely instead of doing it in person. That's what I've done with a couple of my cases, is it's like just reducing the amount of people and potential exposure in that way. So, like, doing remote supervision. And then some parents have, like, you know, we've had, like, spikes here and there with COVID. It's, you know, been like a roller coaster. So they've decided to keep their kids at home when those spikes do happen and, like, wait it out, and then they can, like, come back whenever they want. So yeah, just really making sure that, and also that goes for staff too. Like, if RBTs or, like, anyone at the clinic or at the company, if they don't feel comfortable giving services, then it should be up to them too, just because this is such a dangerous virus.
Crazy time.
So Yeah, I think it should just really, everyone should be honest about how they feel and that they should have the opportunity to make those choices.
And on the topic of remote supervision and just remote services in general, telehealth services, I think that's been really useful. I've done it with a couple of my cases. And again, you should definitely take into consideration as a BCBA, or just in general, anyone, but you should definitely take into consideration the type of clients and the cases that you have. Like, there's some cases I have that I know for a fact telehealth was not going to be effective for them. And remember, in ABA, it has to be effective or it's not ABA. So I've had clients that telehealth is great and we are able to play games on our site and we're able to do a ton of things and it's great and I can show them videos, and there's some really good HIPAA compliant websites out there that allow you to do telehealth services. Like Doxy is one that I've used, but
and parent training too is
yes,
really
parent
good
training
over telehealth.
Yeah, so there's options for sure. Especially, I know that there might be some BCBAs out there that, or BCABAs that are probably like at risk, whether because of health reasons or maybe they're pregnant or things like that.
Or they live with someone,
yeah. So it doesn't have to like end here for you. Like career wise, there are options.
Yeah.
It's just kind of how you go about it. And just within this whole COVID, on some of like the Facebook pages I've seen that like some companies actually have been doing telehealth even before COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've just been strictly telehealth, and I didn't even know that.
I didn't know.
Yeah, BCB is working at home every day.
So currently I mainly work at a clinic, and I also do some school supervision as well, but I've been doing that remotely. And I don't have anyone in home, but in the clinic, some things that we're doing to make sure everyone's safe is that all staff wear masks at all times, that we're cleaning regularly. We're having the kids wash their hands like every half hour, every hour. We are not letting them share toys really so much, and we're disinfecting everything like that they do use. At lunch they sit farther apart, and some of the kids wear masks, but a lot of them can't tolerate it, so they don't. But like I said, the therapists are wearing masks. And like whenever anyone is like showing symptoms, they go and get tested, and that's been like pretty routine, just because we are like in cold and flu season, like you said. So we had a couple people, well, it was like my two owners got it. So like my one owner, she got it first. She's pregnant. She's like 6 months pregnant.
No.
Yeah. And she just like felt like something was off. And so she went and got tested and she was positive. And then it turned out like 2 other of our staff were positive too, but her husband, our other owner, was not yet, but they had to quarantine. We stayed open though because the state said as long as the only people that need to quarantine are the people that were like within like 6 feet of the infected person for more than 15 minutes at a time. And so what, like one of our kids and one of our therapists that like is really close, like would sit really close to this person, they also got tested positive, which like didn't surprise me at all.
That's crazy. I can't. You hear so many cases out there right now where parents test positive, the kids are negative. Vice versa. Kids are positive, parents are negative.
Well,
like, and you live in the same house.
my
so
aunt is a nurse, and her husband got it, and she never got it. She's still got it, and she's been working with people who have COVID. You know.
I mean, I'm not sure how it works. Like, I know some people say like there's like antibodies that some people have.
I have no idea.
That can fight it, or I don't know.
Well, what's so hard about it is like no one knows too much about it still.
Yeah.
You know, and it's only like mutating and getting stronger and changing, and all this is so scary.
And it's a lot. And the thing is, we have to find a way to like work around it because it seems like it's here to stay.
Yeah, life has to move on, and well, we need to do what's like best for our clients and ourselves, and like
they still need the services.
Yeah.
So I work in home. So some of the things that I've been doing is I have separate containers that I use only for specific clients of like slime, sand, water beads, and I disinfect everything. So if I'm at the table working with my client and they sneeze, we're gonna go wash hands, and we're doing hand sanitizer. I'm cleaning the table with like alcohol, and one of my clients has allergies, like bad ones. So like he sneezes often. So for me, like I know when the difference is like whether he's like sick, but sometimes he just has sneezing. But to be safe and make sure that there's not bacteria spreading, we both wash our hands, and I do that with all of my clients upon arrival. Like we go have a little hand washing session. Let's make bubbles. I try to make it fun for them, and then I have a little bottle with it's like a spray bottle, and I just pour alcohol in there, and I just spray my hands. As soon as I get to my car, I use hand sanitizer all over, and as soon as I get home, I wash my hands immediately. I take off the clothes that I'm wearing. Really important.
Yeah, and then another thing we do too is, I forgot to say, is we take temperatures upon arrival.
Yes.
Yeah. And we don't let parents in, like, unfortunately. I mean, like, you know, before we would be able to talk to them before and after session, like inside and like the lobby, but now we just kind of like do a really quick handoff after, like, in the parking lot. So yeah.
Same when I speak with my parents, I keep a good distance.
Yeah.
Like at least 6 feet. We're at the door, they're over there, I'm over here, and I give my quick summary of things. I also have like iPads for like their signatures, and for them to review like the note and stuff like that. So make sure to disinfect that after. Very important. I feel like if you're taking those steps, and you know, if you're someone who has any like health conditions, wear gloves, wear masks. Like this is a time where like people understand.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, like if you're being extra, it's okay. Like no one is gonna judge you for that, because they want you to be safe. They want their kid to be safe, and they want to be safe in their own home. At least like when you're doing it at home, but as well as the clinic, they want their kids to be safe. Or if you work with a different population, trust that nobody wants to catch it. So just continue to do the good work. And like she said earlier, our opinion has definitely changed, given that now we understand more. We've received more resources and knowledge that explains like what this is like, how you can catch it. And there's so many testing sites that like if you did feel like I'm not feeling well, or a client isn't, there's rapid tests, like people are able to get the results. And even when tests aren't rapid, you get your results usually in 3 to 4 days. So it's good to know, to protect your family and yourself. And you know, ABA should definitely continue.
Yes.
It's very necessary, and we need to keep doing this work to help all of our clients, whether they're on the autism spectrum, whether they have a developmental disability, whether they have ADHD, or they're working on an addiction of some sort. Like whoever it may be, the point is, if they're using ABA, they need it. So we have to keep providing these services.
All right, guys, so that is it on our COVID update snack time. Let us know in the comments any of your thoughts and opinions on this. Like she said earlier, what are you guys doing to be safe during these times? How has your work changed?
So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn your bell notifications on. Follow us on Instagram. We have lots of great content at all.about.aba. So we hope to see you on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Follow us. Thank you.
And as always, stay on your best
or worst behavior.